What's up, guys? It's Pat from PopularMMOs.com, and I'm going to be going over how to make the right choice for your professions in World of Warcraft. And while playing World of Warcraft, I've seen many times people asking what they should pick for their professions. And I always see people thinking just because they're like a mage, they should be doing tailoring, or just because they're a rogue, they should be doing leatherworking. And that's really not true. You have a lot of different choices, and I'm going to be going over why you have certain choices and which ones you really should be making. And once you hit level 5 or so, you're going to be able to get to the profession trainer and make those choices. But this will even be helpful if you're already level 85 and you want to change which ones you're doing. So I'm going to be going over each one and mentioning what are your best choices. So as Alchemy, really you have the choice of pairing this with something. But if you don't, then it's a big money pit, and that's why most people are going to pair this with herbalism. And that really is a viable choice. You're not really going to make much money until you level alchemy all the way up, but you're also not going to be spending any of your money. So this isn't a bad choice. But you can, if you choose to put alchemy with something else that's real difficult, like blacksmithing or something like that, then this is actually going to be costing you a lot of money. And it really doesn't matter what class you are or whatever. But my suggestion is, if you want to go alchemy, go herbalism and save the money. For blacksmithing, mining is pretty much your best choice. But if you're a high-level player, you're going to get the best stats out of stuff like blacksmithing and jewel crafting. So you may want to pair those. But I would suggest if you're a new player, you wouldn't want to pair those because they're going to be so expensive to level up, you're not going to be able to keep up with it until you're a higher level. What you really should do is pick up something like blacksmithing and mining, level blacksmithing all the way up. By the time you do, you'll be level capped, and then you'll have enough money to change professions and then get that one up to help your stats. So Enchanting is one that's pretty easy to level up because you're going to get lots of stuff to disenchant from dungeons, from quests, and stuff like that. So that one's really a standalone one. So you can really pair that with almost any of them. But of course, if you pair it with one like alchemy or blacksmithing, it is going to be a money pit in the other profession. But pairing it with a gathering profession, you're actually going to make a lot of money. Or pairing it with one like tailoring, which really doesn't require you to pair it with another one, isn't a bad choice. So enchanting and tailoring really don't require another profession, so they're not too bad to do together. If you want to become an engineer, I would go with mining, just because a lot of the recipes are going to require mining materials. So that's one way you're going to be able to save money if you go with engineering and mining. Before I go on, I wanted to mention the reason that you shouldn't really pick tailoring because you're a mage and leatherworking because you're a rogue. And the reason is people think because you should pick it because you can just make the stuff for yourself. But really, if you have a guild, you can just get the materials and have someone in the guild make it for you free of cost. You don't if they're in their guild, they're not going to make you tip them or anything like that. So there's really no point in just to level it up just for yourself. So I really don't see the point in doing that when you can make some better choices. So let's go over Inscription. Inscription, if you don't want to lose money, you're going to want to go with herbalism because lots of herbs are needed to level up Inscription. If you want to be a jewel crafter, and jewel crafter is another one of those that really helps your stats, you're going to want to go with mining on that. And mining is going to really help you be able to do it. And jewel crafting levels pretty easily, actually. So it really shouldn't be too much of a problem if you go with mining. But remember, guys, if you choose not to go with something like mining, then it's going to cost you a hell of a lot of money. So it's really, if you don't have a lot of money already, and if you're a low character, you're not going to want to choose a different one. You're going to want to just go with mining if you want to be a jewel crafter. For leatherworking, you're definitely going to want to go with skinning because skinning is going to be the materials you're going to be using. But just remember, once you hit 85, you can just switch out one of your gathering one to get 2 professions that really help your stats. And that would be my main suggestion. And tailoring is really a standalone one where you're going to get cloth pretty much. You can't really get cloth other than fighting and stuff, so that one really stands alone. It can really be paired with almost anything if you wanted to. I'd say alchemy and tailoring. Enchanting and tailoring are probably a good choice just because they both kind of stand alone and they're both pretty helpful. So I'd go with those probably. And let's talk about the gathering professions. And there's herbalism, mining, and skinning. And as I mentioned before, all these are really helpful at leveling up the other skills. But they're also great money makers because other people aren't going with my suggestions, and they're just picking 2 professions and then buying all the stuff off the auction house. So if you pick 2 of these, you're going to make a lot of money. And that would actually be my suggestion, and it's most likely what I'm going to be doing. If you choose to level with herbalism, mining and skinning or something like that, by the time you hit 85, you're gonna have a lot of money, and you're gonna be able to buy whatever you want pretty much at that point. And you can always afford the epic flying, because it's always ridiculous that people, they don't have enough money to afford flying when they hit the level. You should always be able to afford that stuff, and it's pretty easy if you make the right decisions as you're leveling up in the game. So really, if you're a low-level player, your best choice is almost always going to be just to pick 2 gathering professions, get all the money you need, and then once you hit level 85, then you'll have enough money to be able to just buy all the stuff off the auction house if you want to level up the other profession. Or you could just drop one. For example, if you picked mining and skinning, drop skinning and pick up blacksmithing, level yourself all the way up in blacksmithing, then drop the mining and level up the other one off the auction house, and then you're still going to have a lot of money and have all your professions max level. If you are 85 already, I'd really just go with, it depends how much money you have. If you have a lot of money, then you might be better off just picking 2 professions that are really going to help your stats, that are going to help your DPS, your PvP and stuff like that, like jewel crafting and stuff like that. But if you don't have a lot of money, you may want to choose one that helps the other one and then drop that other one later while you have some money. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys choose the right professions for your characters in World of Warcraft, guys. So subscribe to my channel and check out PopularMMOs.com. See you guys.